through a volcano, and he comes, to do the dramatic. The plume takes him. You don't see it, and all of a sudden, he drives out. And I'm like, do you know how hot and thick that stuff is?
Oh yeah.
And it would just brought that plane. Boom. And then there was at Dante's Peak with the volcano, and
Oh yeah.
And Pierce Brosnan's driving a Dodge truck across lava. I'm like, what in the? I don't. Then usually Woody Harrelson will turn up somewhere in the movie that's got a disaster in it, right?
And why do they always come in like twos? There's always two movies that are the same. Like you had that Volcano and Dante's Inferno came out at the same time.
Remember, what was that movie with, now we're way off topic, that movie with Tom Cruise? Was it The Day After Tomorrow? But it was like the aliens.
Live, Die, and Repeat.
The aliens came down, and then they
War of the
went
Worlds.
into the War of the World.
That was a remake of H.G. Wells. Right. Yeah.
And then they came up from the bottom. But, I wonder if it could be like one of those things. Like War of the Worlds. That'd be crazy. Like on the radio thing like that.
Yeah.
If like that thing could actually happen, like that would be terrifying.
Orson Welles on Christmas night.
That'd be crazy.
Or not Christmas night, on Halloween night. Did the War of Worlds and made it sound like, and at the beginning of it, they said that it was a reenactment or whatever. Mm-hmm. And everybody just tuned in late and whatever, and they're just, God, they're being attacked.
Start killing their kids, spare them.
What was that movie, The Mist or The Fog?
Oh, yeah, The Mist.
Oh, man, that tore you up, man.
Yeah.
Kill his kids.
It's rough. And then immediately get rescued.
Oh, damn.
Spoiler alert.
Have you seen it yet?
Delving into some apocalyptic movie binge.
See, that's why like the apocalypse movie I'm going to make is when like all five happen at the same time. Like that's going to be.
I just think there's some poaching going on in the theater. I mean, or in the movie business. Because think about it. What was it? Bug's Life and Ants came out like almost simultaneously.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
And then like what was that? Armageddon and Deep Impact, both big asteroid movies.
Yeah. Nah, that's.
So did you both see Armageddon?
I've seen it a long time ago.
Okay, did you cry at the end?
No,
Bruce Willis.
I don't remember much, but I know
I didn't care. I was
never cried about Bruce Willis.
And then you had Aerosmith singing for his night. I'm like, I had to I got a little emotional, a little foggy up there. Come back. What's the best Bruce Willis movie? Hudson Hawk. Oh my God, my uncle would love you.
I've never even seen that. I was gonna say
it's awful.
Well, see, the best movie probably wouldn't have anything to do with him. See, I was gonna say something like, man, it was just too many. Not Fifth Element, but God dog it. Oh, like Pulp Fiction, but that's not really a Bruce Willis movie.
What about Die Hard?
Well, Pulp Fiction is very good. Like I could probably watch Pulp Fiction like a lot.
You just like Samuel L. Jackson.
I mean, it's just good, but it really doesn't have much to do with Bruce Willis.
Did you see Chappelle, where Samuel Adams
in the sketch?
He's yelling at Bill Burr's ear, it'll get you drunk. He's got that weird hat on. Oh,
dude, yeah, Bill Burr is great in that.
Would you stop yelling in my ear? This is the way I talk. So you got any other projects, Jason, that you're working on?
Well, I could drop the droplet interface oil water synthetic membrane project. No.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
No, just kidding. I'm just saying that to be an asshole.
Oh, okay, because you lost me. I'm kind of a simple man over here.
No, actually, what I'm working on is I want to start doing radio plays, but they're performed live and doing that around the Boise area. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Okay.
Because
like the old time, like what we were talking about, like War of the Worlds kind of stuff, or
reenactment. Like you do a lot of the sound effects, and you just have people that like talking to the microphones and just act.
Yeah.
And just make it like an event where it's like theater of the mind. That sounds like a lot of fun.
I'd love to hear. When I used to drive truck, I would go to the library and I'd get CDs and stuff. I drove semis all over, and I would listen to the old ones. And then I got XM radio, and there was channels that they played the old stuff, and it was it was like full. I mean, if you use your imagination, you're watching a movie. Yeah. And it's different for every single person that hears it. They see a different picture. I love that stuff.
Yeah, everybody's their own director.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't like that angle. I'll just change it.
And I like the old skits, too, because I think they put more time in it. Like Who's on First, Abbott and Costello. Yeah. I love that one there.
Oh, yeah.
Just the way they look at each other. And I don't know. It seems like everything now is a remake. I don't think anything is coming out that's original anymore. I looked at a diagram, and it was like it showed you each year, of what's original and what's remake, and it's just like overtaken now the year's movies with just remakes.
Yeah, there definitely is more remakes. Yeah.
Ghostbusters, why did they do that?
That's just, I don't know. See, that's the thing. I actually don't see a lot of those movies, but like I
didn't see it either. I'm just saying, why did they do that?
Ghostbusters. I don't know, man.
That's like making Caddyshack again. Why would you even do that?
Hey, man, don't say that too loud. I mean, Caddyshack has come across the desk of someone, guaranteed. Because if Ghostbuster comes across the desk, Groundhog Day, all that stuff has come across somebody's desk. And they've been like, hey, can we get Bill Murray? And then he's like, no, and then they just squash it.
Well, they'll make it all female cast.
See, you guys are upstanding looking guys, so you're in Washington now, but you don't smoke weed, do you? You don't partake of the green?
I don't know if I could say for the legal system.
Well, man, I mean, no, me, not much. You know what's funny? Like, I actually used to before I lived in Washington, and then like, man, I had two, but one, I mean, it was horrific. It was New Year's.
What are you talking about? Bad experience on weed?
Oh, horrific.
Would you
I'll
eat
tell you
it or
exactly
smoke
what
it?
happened. I'll tell you exactly what happened. So there was a club in Seattle, and I'm not going to give away the name, even though really I've told this story 1,000 times, and they know the damn story.
Well, you were going to talk shit about another club. Why can't you say the
I
name
actually like this club. You know what I mean? So they're probably like, "Hey, why'd you say that?" You know,
were they responsible for you getting high?
Yes.
Oh.
So
okay,
then,
I didn't know that. I thought it was just.
So now I'm giving away. Well, no, it wouldn't matter. So, anyways, I'm doing this club, and it's like whatever. So hanging out, and it's like, hey, do you want some wheat butter? I'm like, sure. Just get have some all the time though. It was like a common thing. So I'm like, okay, sure. So you do the whole thing. You wait and like an hour and a half goes by.
Wait, did you just like eat a stick of green butter or something?
No. It was it had like some wheat butter and then like bread or whatever. So just took the bread, dabbed it up, hanging out. An hour and a half goes by. Nothing. The classic.
You didn't
story.
eat some more, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
It's like, you want some more? I'm like, I'll take the rest.
No.
Bang, the whole thing. So now, like, when this starts, it's like 10 o'clock. Because it's after the late show. So whatever the late show. So let's say it's 11:30, whatever. So we're hanging, and then, like, in my head, like, a bomb went off at, like, 2:30. And I was like, oh, God. I got to get home.
The ride is
right
begun.
now. And it was like, it was the worst. It was the worst experience of my life. It was the worst. So I got in the Uber, and like now I mean every second it's just waves of like, oh my gosh. I get home and my wife is pregnant. She's like 6 months pregnant, so I'm like, she's going to be pissed. And she was pissed.
Oh yeah, she's pissed.
I got home. I'm like, I'm not gonna wake her up. I'm just gonna hang out, and I just couldn't take it. Start vomiting everywhere.
Oh no!
Start vomiting everywhere. I get in the shower. I'm like, maybe I can like try to. I don't know, man. I'm like trying everything. So like, and then like when I go to sleep, all of a sudden I felt like something just pounding on my chest, and then finally I woke her up. I was like, yo, we gotta go to the hospital, man. She was like, what the hell, man?
You should have told her that you had sympathy pains. Like, they say the sympathy, morning sickness kind of stuff. You're like, oh, I feel it, baby.
It was horrible.
So you almost sound like that policeman that called his own police department and says, I need an ambulance. I think my wife and I are dying. And he told her that he ate pot cookies.
Oh, yeah. It was exactly like that. And then, I mean, by this time, it's about 6 in the morning. It's 6 in the morning, and I mean, it's raging. Yeah. And then, so that proceeded to happen. My wife actually has a friend who's a nurse. She comes to the house, does the blood pressure thing, and she's like, yo, your heartbeat is out of control, man. You got to calm down. So do the whole thing, whatever. Now, the day goes on, so now it's like 10, 11. And so, like, the vomiting had stopped by that point, but I'm really high. I had a show that night that I produced. I used to produce this show in Seattle. I produced a show for like 5 years in Seattle. So it's like 4 years, 4 or 5 years in Seattle, and so the show was that night. So this was Saturday night, the late show, and Sunday was my show. So I go to the show Sunday, and I'm still fucking high. It's 7. I'm still. I mean, I'm like, it's bad, man. I'm like, and they're like, "You gonna cancel the show?" No, the show must go on. So I do the show, and like I'm tipsy. So when I get off, my wife, she's still pissed. I mean, because she used to work the door. She's still pissed. So go, and then I'm like, tell him what happened last night. And she's like, yeah, man, we're there, whatever. He's like, oh, what happened? I'm like, yo, I can't stop vomiting, whatever. And it was like some medical marijuana. So I guess like the doctor or whatever was like trying combinations to like help him out. Yeah. And so it was just like a high level of intensity, man. And
like a hybrid stuff.
I was like, never again. So even now, like I have, since then, but it'll be like a couple puffs and then I'm gone, man. I've been traumatized. So I don't, but that was like, I was high for at least, like at least a day and a half. It was really bad. Damn. I mean, really bad. And I've explained it to other people, and like, there's other people that have like some similar stories. But, I mean, it was, I thought I was about to die. It was the worst day of my life. So now I'm like, couple puffs. But I mean, that's probably like Washington, like, somewhere in like Florida is probably not as good, right? So it'll probably be like, these people are walking around going to work. I'm like,
coffee and weed. That's where this place
so,
is. Well, I was for like 2 years, I got like bipolar and stuff, and I took the medication, and I hated it because you feel like a robot. Mm-hmm. But then I started smoking weed, and it was like, okay, I can do this, and I started doing more stuff. But I got to the thing where you ever took dabs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do like 15 to 20 a day. I'd do 4 or 5 just to start. I wake up all depressed, and then I'd do like 4 or 5 dabs, and I'm like, and everybody knew. But then I got poor, and I watched my car get repossessed as it's driving away one night, and all this stuff, and I couldn't afford it. And then about 4 weeks ago, I hadn't done dabs in a long time. I was at the club, and I wasn't feeling like, sometimes you're just not feeling like you can be up there and be.
Yeah.
And I told somebody, and they're like, well, here. And they pulled out this little tin, and they gave these little, like an Altoids, but it was squishy gummies. Mm-hmm. And they gave me 2 of them. And I'm looking at them, they're 5 milligrams a piece. That's 10 milligrams. I used to eat a bag, which was 100 milligrams, and just feel a buzz.
Yeah,
so I'm looking at these, and I'm like, I'll take them just to be nice. Yeah. About 30 minutes later, I was the perfect high. Oh. It was so beautiful. I felt great. And I think I had the best set of my life, but it could have just been my opinion, but I was fucking with everybody in the crowd. And it was like, what are you doing, stupid? Yes.
Yeah, man. If you can... I admire people sometimes that can do it. I'm like, hey, if you can do it, it's good for you. Because not, besides the fact that it's legal, it's, not like something where like you're going like some rager, so. Well,
usually if you get too high, you forget to do anymore. Yeah. You just kind of sit there like, hey, I forgot. There's times when when I used to sit at home and I'd be smoking weed, and I'm like, I'm bored. And all of a sudden I go, wait a minute, I smoke weed. And I would smoke some more weed, but the first time I did dabs, the guy pulled out a 4-foot bong, and I did it, and I'm a cougher. I cough every time, and I fell out, and I was so high, and he goes, "You want to do another?" And I said yes, and I wasn't even thinking, and I went up and did another one, and I was blitzed for like 9 hours. Like, I was afraid that I was going to be high for the rest of my life. I remember that guy.
Hey, man.
I remember that guy on the bus that was
before,
like
man.
rocking and just, because he did acid or whatever, but I didn't know, and I thought, I'm going to be that guy in the back of the bus talking to himself and laughing.
I've been there, man.
This is it,
drooling, and I was rocking back and forth and going, I'm too high. I'm too high.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the good one.
I know exactly how many milligrams will fuck me up if I'm doing edibles. But one time, we bought some new gummies from a place that we'd never been to before. And I assumed that it was the same dosage, when in fact it was double what I was used to. So I took my max and then doubled it, and that one was tough. We went to a bar for a birthday party, and I remember when it kicked in, I was talking to people. The first word or two would come out, and I would just stop talking. I'd be like, that's... then I just